Welcome to the Bears Den. I'm your host, Emmitt Pharr, where we're going to be discussing Mercer football in the SoCon all season long. Right now, we're on the off season, so I'm using these little podcasts here to get set and ready for the season, bring you some information of the off season. I'm a big football fan. I love Mercer football. We've had some exciting seasons for the last 3, 4 seasons. And I think it's going to continue under Coach Taylor. Um, College football scene's changing fast between the portal and the NIL. Rosters are flipping, players are coming in, players are leaving, last minute decisions, last minute coaching decisions. Some coaches are retiring, others are getting some offers from bigger schools or the NFL, and it's a lot of last minute stuff going on. We're still gathering players from the portal. Um, I think we did well both in the portal and signing the freshman class. Um, the college football, it's just changing, man. Either the program's got to adapt to what's going on, or they're going to be left behind. So either you learn how to use the portal and get the freshman class in, and you got to bring them in and mesh them. You got to get the experienced players out of the portal to fill in for them players that you lost, and bring the freshmen in to build your squad. Um, and I think Mercer football made a move that tells you exactly where this program's headed. When the Bears named Joel Taylor as their 22nd head coach in the program history, this wasn't a splash hire. This was a purpose hire. Today we're going to break down why Mercer chose Joel Taylor, and more importantly, what he brings to this program. From culture and leadership to defensive identity to offensive philosophy, this hire says a lot about Mercer's vision, their expectations, and their belief that this program's best football is still ahead. So let's get into it. First, I'd like to discuss a little bit about Coach Taylor. He was born in Brooklyn, New York. He's from the north, just like I am. I'm from New Jersey. Uh, Now I live in Georgia. Uh, he played his collegiate football at South Carolina State University from 2001 to 2004. He also started his coaching career there at South Carolina State as a graduate assistant 2005 to 2006. In 2007 and 2008, he was a defensive assistant at South Carolina State. 2009, he went to Lenore Rhine as an outside linebackers coach. 2010 to 2013, he returned back to South Carolina State as a defensive back coach. 2014 to 2018, he coached at the Citadel as a safeties coach. 2019, he returned to Lenore Rhine as the defensive coordinator and linebackers coach. 2020 to 2023, he joined the Mercer University coaching staff as the defensive coordinator and linebackers coach. So when Coach Jacobs took over, Coach Taylor became the head coach from 2024 to 2025 at West Georgia University, where he went 12-10 in 2 seasons. He was 4-7 in the first season, 8-3 in the second season, and he transitioned that team into division into the FCS. Now he's the head coach of the University of Mercer, or Mercer University, for the 2026 season, and hopefully for years in the future. Um, Mercer didn't just hire a head coach; they hired the right fit at the right moment, and I truly believe that. I believe for the situation and where we were, uh, bringing Coach Taylor in was the best move. When Mercer named Joel Taylor as the 22nd head football coach in program history. This decision was about more than just a resume. It was about proven success, continuity, and belief in the direction of the program. First, results matter. Joe Taylor came to Mercer fresh off a strong season as a head coach at the University of West Georgia. He led that program to 8 wins and earned Conference Coach of the Year honors, proving he can build, lead, and win as the man in charge. Second, he already knows Mercer. He's familiar with Mercer. He isn't any stranger to Macon. From 2020 to 2023, he served as Mercer's defensive coordinator, helping lead the Bears to one of the best stretches in program history. That includes Mercer's first ever FCS playoff appearance and multiple top-tier defensive performances at the national level. So being familiar with Mercer really matters. It helps the transition. It makes it smooth. Mercer didn't want to rebuild. They wanted continuity. Third, his defensive identity fits the program. Under Coach Taylor, Mercer's defenses were fast, aggressive, and disciplined. The Bears consistently ranked among the top defenses in FCS, forcing turnovers and setting the tone every Saturday afternoon. Fourth, leadership and culture. Mercer's administration emphasized character, accountability, and development on and off the field. Taylor checked every box. He's known as a teacher, a leader of men, and someone who builds culture and not just schemes. Finally, timing. When former head coach Mike Jacobs departed, Mercer needed stability without slowing momentum. Hiring someone who already understood the locker room, the conference, and the expectations allowed Mercer to move forward, not backward. So when you put all this together, head coaching success, deep Mercer roots, elite defensive results, and trusted leadership, the hire made sense. Coach Taylor wasn't just the next coach, he was the right coach for the situation. When Mercer hired Coach Taylor, they weren't just hiring a coach, they were hiring an identity. Okay, so Coach Taylor, he built a strong defense here when he was the defensive coordinator back in 2020 through 2023. So I do believe he's the right man for the job. He's going to keep our defense tough. He knows that the games are won in the trenches. He went out and he got big offensive linemen, big defensive linemen, linebackers, um, some good defensive backs. I believe what he's bringing in to fill the spots we lost is going to be a good unit, especially with the coach staff he built. I believe they're going to coach these gentlemen well, and we're going to come out fighting from the beginning. I'm looking forward to a three-peat, and I think we might have the roster to do it. So what does Joel Taylor bring to Mercer football? Well, it starts with leadership. He's a coach who values accountability, toughness, and trust, the kind of culture that shows up on Saturdays when the game gets tight. This program isn't being rebuilt, it's being refined. So let's start on the defensive side of the ball, because that's where Coach Taylor's fingerprints are undeniable. Defensively, Joe Taylor's brings speed, discipline, and aggression. His defenses attack the football, they create turnovers, they play fast and physical, especially at the point of contact. At Mercer, his previous defense is ranked among the best in the FCS, known for pressure, ball disruption, and situational excellence. This is a defense that wins on third downs, forces mistakes, and sets the tone early. Under Coach Taylor, defense isn't just a unit, it's the heartbeat of the team. And I think we've seen that before when he was coaching our defense. We led or highly ranked in turnovers one season. I believe it might have been 2022. Um, a lot of interceptions. Um, I watched film of his West West Georgia University team, and they're very aggressive going for the ball. Um, Good gang tackling. Um, they were at the point of contact. Great in the trenches. Very good and well coached football team. So now offensively, while Coach Taylor is a defensive minded head coach, his offensive philosophy is about balance and efficiency. Expect an offense that protects the football, controls the tempo, and complements the defense. This isn't reckless football, it's smart, physical, and intentional. The offense is designed to stay on schedule, win time of possession, and finish drives. Coach Taylor understands that in the Southern Conference, games are often decided by execution, not flash. Offensively, Mercer will aim to be tough in the run game, efficient in the passing game, and disciplined in critical moments. And maybe the most importantly, Coach Taylor brings continuity. He understands Mercer football. I believe Coach Taylor knows a lot of games are won in the trenches. You got to have a strong offensive line to protect that quarterback when you do have to pass and open the holes for the running backs. You need a strong physical defensive line that can put pressure on that quarterback and stop the running backs in the backfield. He understands the Southern Conference. He understands what it takes to win here. Players know what's expected. Recruits know the standards, and the locker room knows the direction. So when you look at what Joel Taylor brings to Mercer football, it's culture, it's toughness, it's defensive excellence, and offensive purpose. This isn't a reset. This is Mercer football evolving. So I truly believe with the people that he's bringing in, the coaches, the players, the way he used the portal, the young men that were signed out of high school, um, we're bringing in some talent. We're bringing in some fast receivers. We're bringing in people with experience that have played at the FCS level. We're bringing in some great Division II players off the portal. Um, Bringing in some fantastic freshmen. We still have some fantastic players on the roster that decide to stay at Mercer. Um, so I'm looking forward to 2026. I think we're going to have a heck of a team. I think we're going to fight for that conference championship. A lot of teams lost a lot of players just like we did. So they're rebuilding. Some got new coaches. So I'm looking forward to it. I think we have a great chance to be very effective and very potent in the Southern Conference. So when you look at the big picture, the hire of Joe Taylor tells you exactly where Mercer football is headed. This program didn't panic, it didn't reset, it doubled down on culture, toughness, and belief. With Coach Taylor, Mercer brings continuity, defensive identity, and an offensive approach built to win in the Southern Conference. The foundation is here. Now it's about taking the next step. And I think Coach Taylor and his staff are ready to take that next step. I truly believe they're going to lead Mercer to great things. I think they did a great job since coming in. They hit the ground running, um, and they ain't looked back. We've added a bunch of players. We continue to add a few players here and there, and which I think they're great pieces. It's like putting a puzzle together. You got to get the experienced players to fill the positions you lost and get them young high school players that got a great ability so they could learn and fit into the program and build the program. Um, Again, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I think great things are going to happen in 2026 and beyond. I think Coach Taylor and his staff are going to take us to the next level where we don't only just make the playoffs, we start winning and going deep into the playoffs. I want Mercer to be a name nationwide, not just a team that makes the playoffs and plays one round, 2 rounds. I want to get to them finals. I want to win championships. Southern Conference championships are awesome. We need to continue to win them. But let's go get us that national championship. Let's put Mercer on the board. Um, so, again, this has been the Bears Den. I'm Emmitt Pharr. If you enjoyed today's breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and share the show. Drop a comment and let me know your thoughts on the hire and what you expect from Mercer football moving forward. We've got more Mercer football coverage coming your way, and you won't want to miss it. We'll see you next time right here in the Bears Den. Until then, go Bears.